I've owned this 2016 Porsche Macan S for 6 months now, and sometimes I look at it and I still can't believe that it's a Porsche. Porsches are so incredibly expensive. A new Porsche Macan, you can't even get it for below $72,000. That's base without any options. Porsche 911, forget it. Minimum 6 figures. And buying this used Macan for the price of a brand new Accord, I knew I was getting a good deal, but at the time, I just didn't realize how much I would like this car. And by the way, it's not just the fact that this car was in the mid-30s, because any German car is going to depreciate like crazy. This one comes with a certified pre-owned warranty for 3 years. I opted to get the CPO +1, which is adding another year of warranty to it, but looking back, I probably didn't need to because I'm not planning on keeping this car for that long. But maybe I will, because I really do love this thing. I gotta say though, being able to drive this thing around every day, knowing I have that peace of mind with the warranty, it makes a huge difference. It's not like Macans don't have problems. They absolutely do, with oil leaks, PCM issues, transfer case problems. There's a whole list of things that could go wrong. But hey, I don't care. I got that certified pre-owned warranty, which is as good as it can get if you buy a used car. Luckily though, knock on wood or knock on metal in this case, I haven't had any problems in the 6 months of ownership so far. I actually kind of want something to break to see how good the warranty is. And would you believe that the Porsche dealer charges $500 an hour to work on these things? When something does break, I'm going to be so happy to have that warranty. Regardless of whether or not anything breaks, I really do enjoy the Macan, and in this video, I'm gonna give you all the reasons why. The biggest reason is this really doesn't feel like an SUV. It's an SUV on paper, but it feels so much like a car. I don't know how Porsche managed to make a 4,200 pound vehicle like this feel so agile and so nimble. There's not a lot of SUVs that you'd actually look forward to driving and you want to whip around turns and tackle curvy roads on purpose. With this one, I actually look forward to it because it can handle it, and it also feels enjoyable. The handling on this thing is so precise and direct. It's what you'd expect out of a high-performance coupe or a sedan, certainly not out of a sport utility vehicle that's high off the ground. In most SUVs, since they're high off the ground, if you try to engage in some spirited driving, which I'm not saying you ever would, but let's say you wanted to, you just wouldn't have the confidence. Too much body roll, you might feel like you're losing control. That's not at all the case with the Porsche. You can definitely push the Macan, enjoy it, and it'll take care of you. I don't know how Porsche managed to make a 4,200 pound vehicle actually enjoyable to drive. No question, the Macan is amazing to drive, but check out what's under the hood. Powering this is a 3-liter turbo V6, 340 horsepower, 339 pound-feet of torque. A Macan turbo from this era would have had 400 horsepower. Sure, it's faster, but you know what? I'm happy with this. 0 to 60, 5 seconds, not bad at all. I love the way they designed the hood too, with these cutouts for the headlight. And in the world of fake exhaust vents that every single car manufacturer uses, these dual tailpipes are absolutely amazing. Despite being 7 years old, everything on the inside is still holding together strong. Very few rattles. Door paneling and the headliner is still fully intact. Nothing's coming off. The seats are still in great shape. In fact, the seats are some of the best that I've experienced in a car yet. The front seats, especially in the driver area, is extremely comfortable, very driver focused. Your passengers might not be super happy being back here because it's a little tight. But do you really care about your passengers? You're gonna be in the driver's seat. Just enjoy driving. Your passengers can deal with a little bit of discomfort. Don't worry about them. If you need more room in the back seat, then the Cayenne might be a better option. But in terms of being able to store stuff back here, still pretty spacious. Whatever junk you want to throw back here, this can take it. That's where the Macan nails it, is it's practical, you can haul stuff around, and it's still great to drive. The suspension is dialed in just right. It's got really good ride comfort, especially on the freeways. It's so stable and so smooth. And then even going over bumps, it doesn't get rattled very easily. It doesn't get thrown off. You would think with the big 21-inch wheels on this car that the ride wouldn't be that great, but surprisingly, Porsche has managed to figure that out. So you have great handling in a car that also rides really smooth. I haven't really taken this on long road trips. I've done a decent amount of highway driving, but it's almost as if the faster you go in this car, the better it gets. In terms of a highway cruiser, this one is tough to beat, especially considering the braking power on this. On highways, if somebody does something stupid in front of you and you have to brake to a halt, you can do that in this car. With responsive handling and great brakes and a great ride, this is almost the perfect highway cruiser. Because the Macan has all-wheel drive in the rain, I don't really have to change my driving style. Still 100% stable, lots of grip and traction, and also the all-wheel drive helps put the power down to the ground much easier, so the car just feels faster. Speaking of fast, because it's got 339 pound-feet of torque, 340 horsepower, I like to take advantage of it when I can and do this. This Macan S isn't insanely fast. You could get the turbo or the GTS for more power, but I think the kind of power that this has is plenty for a daily driver. More than enough passing power. It provides enough driving excitement, so I'm really happy with it. Although I wish the exhaust was a little bit louder, especially under full throttle. It sounds better from the outside, but on the inside it's a little too quiet. But I'm not the typical Macan buyer. A Macan owner isn't really buying this to hot rod it day in and day out. There are other cars for that. What makes this car feel faster is the PDK. It shifts so quickly, and you got your manual shifting option, the paddles as well. So from time to time, I enjoy taking the revs all the way up to 7,000 RPM where it's redlining. I buy and own cars to have fun, so that's exactly what I'm doing with the Porsche Macan, and they've made it possible to have fun with this. All this in a 4-door grocery getter, I'm enjoying it. This Macan is exactly the reason why I like to drive used cars instead of new. Brand new, this car easily costs more than $80,000. And now for less than half the cost, I get to experience this amazing Porsche. If you've seen my channel, then you know that I'm driving Aston Martins, Range Rovers, 911s, and even after driving those, I get into this thing and appreciate it just as much as I ever had. That really speaks to how awesome this Macan is, and oh, by the way, I love the way it looks too. This Macan will be really a tough one to replace because I think Porsche has cracked the code with this. It's got the unique combination of handling dynamics, ride comfort, practicality, just all packed into the same car. That doesn't mean that this car is perfect. In another video that I did that I'll link to in the description, I talk about the things that bother me about this car, but they're all mostly minor things. When it comes down to it, I think for $30,000, you'd be hard-pressed to find anything that could be better than what this one is. 61,000 miles, still going strong. I'm gonna put many more miles on this, especially considering the fact that I have my warranty. Why buy new when you can get an amazing used car with a warranty?